Well, I was walking down the street, feeling kind of neat, when the wind came out your butt and blew my wig off. Oh, it was a sight to see, my hair flying in the breeze, 'cause the wind came out your butt and blew my wig off. People started laughing, they couldn't believe their eyes as my wig flew through the sky. Oh, what a surprise. I tried to catch it, but it slipped right through my hands, 'cause the wind came out your butt and now it's somewhere in the land. Oh, wind came out your butt and blew my wig off. Baby, you drive like shit. Did you see that car that you almost hit? I'd rather take the bus instead. Riding with you, I'm gonna end up dead. Don't ask me if I need a lift. Baby, you drive like shit. She just ran through always stop. I ain't trying to get stopped by the cops. Baby, why the hell did I let you drive? It's a miracle that you're still alive. Don't ask me if I need a lift. Baby, you drive like shit. Whoa, 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 whoa. Look out, my girl is driving. Watch out, my girl drives like shit. Whoa, whoa, whoa. My girl is driving. Watch out, my girl drives like shit. Man, ain't no. Heard you think you're tough. Gotta let you know I will fuck you up. I whoop that ass, talking all that shit, spank that ass till you tap like a bitch. No, I ain't playing. I'm here to kick ass. Whoop that ass, it's time to punch face. I'm the one who brings you pain in the ring. I whoop that ass until the bell rings. Already know that I do not play. Throw a punch like I'm cutting down hay. I whoop that ass every single night. Spank that ass till they stop the fight. I'll tell you the story of a man, a radioactive tip in his hand. His hand grew 10 times its normal size to help him get his money on time. He knew if the bitch was telling a lie, which was 100% of the time. Superpowers to make a bitch listen, then get her naked with sex-ray vision. Sweep a police station in a single bound, slapping bitches down to the fucking ground. His name was famous across the land. They called him the pimp named Superhand. Oh shit, yeah, the pimp named Superhand. He had powers no other pimp had. Oh fuck yeah, the pimp named Superhand. That motherfucker was super bad. Asking for dinner ain't asking for much. You had one job and still fucked it up. Sometimes you gotta learn respect. I use my pimp hand to correct. It's called a bitch slap, slap. Come get your face hate the texture of your hair? Who taught you to hate the color of your skin to such extent that you bleach to get like the white man? Who taught you to hate the shape of your nose and the shape of your lips? Who taught you to hate yourself from the top of your head to the soles of your feet? Who taught you to hate your own kind? Who taught you to hate the race that you belong to? So much so that you don't want to be around each other. No, before you come asking Mr. Muhammad, does he teach hate? You should ask yourself, who taught you to hate being what God gave you?
Welcome back. Welcome back. Glad to have you here to join me one more day, one more night. I am your host, Kenique Jackson at School for Justice. And today we're going to go ahead and jump right on into our topic, our content in Columbus, Ohio. Okay, got a pretty good one for you here tonight. And let's check out what went down. And I kind of just want to go ahead and jump right on into it. If I'm looking around, that's because I have my cameras all around. I definitely apologize about last night. My camera was pure trash. So please excuse me on that. I am working on my equipment. But glad to have you here. So sit back, relax, and let's enjoy the show. All right. And so we have going to go ahead and place this here on the screen. Just bear with me 1 second. All right, we got the full screen there. Boom, and let's check it out.
On March 17, 2025, a safety and security officer at Ridgeview Middle School in Columbus, Ohio, contacted the Columbus Division of Police to report a possible bomb threat that had already been investigated and deemed to be not credible by school officials. According to a police report, the student said he only made the statement because he was angry that he had to switch classrooms, and school leaders informed the department upon calling that the school had determined the threat was a hoax and did not wish to pursue charges. The officers were not told if the student would face discipline, but reportedly observed the student leaving the school with a parent. The interaction that followed was captured on Officer Keith Connor's body camera.
Get back to full screen for you all, and here we go.
Those guests who were expecting to have arrived. No, that's locked. You gotta wait till he comes to get you, sir.
What?
You have to wait till he comes to get you, sir.
I'm here on official police business.
I get that. I just radio for the safety security. You just have to wait for him to come in here to pick you up. Okay? Okay. Thank you.
Well,
I'm just saying. That I'm just going by the rules that I've been instructed. This radio.
I thought
to get you.
Has your union, teachers union, and the lawyers spoke with you? Huh?
I'm not.
Have they spoke with you?
No.
We're here on official police business.
I get that. But safety security is on their way to come and get you.
Okay, we have authority over safety and security. Do you understand that?
Well,
We're Columbus Police.
I have authority over my principal. You do not love my principal to me. So she tells me for you guys to wait. You're not the first one to go through this. And I'm not trying to be combative, but he told me to let you know. Let him know when you got here. He's going to let you know. And I just radio on him. He's coming to get you. Okay?
Okay, well.
I'm just telling you what I go through.
Okay, but did the union and the lawyers speak with? Did they speak with you?
No.
They have not.
And I'm not in the teachers union, so no, they wouldn't speak with me.
Okay, well, when we're here on official police business, we are over safety and security.
I will talk to legal about that in just a second. I will email them and ask them.
I will call. This is ridiculous.
Officer Connor argues that he should not have to wait to enter the school because the Columbus Police rank above the school's so-called safety and security officer. It should be noted that Columbus City School safety officers, who are employees of the school district, do not report to Columbus police officers, and Columbus Police have no formal supervisory authority over school security personnel, as each group has its own jurisdiction with a separate chain of command. Likewise, Ohio law does not grant police officers unfettered access to public schools. schools, despite the fact that they are owned and operated by the government. According to Section 3313.20 of the Ohio Revised Code, quote, "The Board of Education of a school district or the governing board of an educational service center shall make any rules that are necessary for its government and the government of its employees, pupils of its schools, and all other persons entering upon its school grounds or premises." While applying this statute, the U.S. District Court for the Southern District of Ohio determined in the 2011 case of Swick versus Dillon that, quote, "The Ohio Revised Code specifically grants local boards of education the authority to manage the issue of entrance on school grounds of persons other than students and school employees." And, now quoting again, "School officials reasonably control access of non-students and non-personnel to school grounds." Now, we will discuss the rules for access to school grounds created by the Columbus City Schools Board of Education later in this episode. But for now, it is important to understand that, in general, absent an emergency or warrant, police cannot demand entry to a school or access to a student over the administration's objection because the administration has the legal authority to control school access. Now, while a court would likely find that under the Fourth Amendment's exigent circumstances exception, officers can lawfully enter property without a warrant or consent if necessary to address an ongoing emergency or prevent imminent harm, in this instance, the officers were responding to a non-emergency call from school administrators or staff after the potential threat had dissipated, and therefore, as invited guests, a court would likely conclude that they were subject to the rules created by the school board to gain access to the property.
We are here in official capacity. Well,
Okay, so just to give you a little background about what is going on at the moment, there was a student there at school who was playing around and, joking off, and he made a subliminal threat. So the one of the teachers reported it to the principal, and they called the police. A non-emergency phone call. Okay. The child admitted that he was just joking and nothing serious. So they called his parents, and he got in trouble and was sent home for the day and got a disciplinary or whatnot. So basically, the officer gets on the scene and is after a non-emergency call and is ready to bust the door in. He's being confrontational with the school secretary. And as you'll see when the principal comes in here shortly, to run up inside the office where the doors automatically close, and they have to call for the security there on the school board to unlock or give access into the entrance of the building. And so the lady at the front desk was trying to explain that to the officer, and he gets confrontational and gets offended. He even makes the statement, well, we have the authority over the school district and over this school board. This is in Columbus, Ohio. So we're going to further check out and see how this goes and what ended up happening. You tell me, and what you see is going wrong already as far as the codes and the laws being violated here in this situation. All right, let's check it out.
Like what I know that I've been told by my principal.
so if a teacher's being beat up, I have to ask you to let me through the door. Is that what you're saying?
No, I need Mr. Howell in my office ASAP, please.
So if a teacher's getting beat up, I have to go through you to get to that teacher. That's what you're saying.
Mr. Howell.
So yeah,
I'm just
this
telling
is.
you what I was told. He told
So
me.
if they have an emergency here, she has to decide if it's a big enough emergency.
Talk to them and let them know what they need to do. Are you taking them out that way? Are you taking them out? What's going on?
I'll put them in the conference room for right now.
Thank you, please.
Hey,
I'm office, please.
I was trying to explain to her that the Columbus police she said we have to wait for safety and security. Columbus police are over safety and security. If there's an emergency here, I don't need to explain to her, I need to get in here and get in here now instead of go through this. What?
Okay, but listen, guy, you're making this more bigger than what it is. It's a non-emergency phone call, and a student is not getting beat up. There's no crime being committed, and they have made that clear to you. The lady at the front desk explained that when you first walked in, but we'll further see how it's going to play out and we do have other staff members, you know, especially the ones who reached out to officers that's on their way in to speak with him.
According to the district rules that they give us.
Now,
There's an active shooter, we have to.
so, yeah, so if you have a shooting, she's gonna sit here and determine to let us in. That's not acceptable. This is not acceptable at all.
Can you step back over here? 'Cause I just heard a lot of
Okay.
chaos. And I was in the meeting, so I know, Mr. Howe, come on back over here, please. The door, please.
So what I'm gonna,
Okay, now this lady here with the hat on is the principal, and I believe that she was informed by a teacher to notify the police. Okay, so this is the principal of the school that the police are talking to now. Full screen. Sorry about that. We'll get back in full screen here and play.
what I'm gonna do is get back a hold again with the teachers union. I'm gonna get a hold of legal
What does
because
the teachers union have to do with this?
it seems like they're some of the only people that have pull. If we have an emergency at the school, I should not have, I should not have to explain to this woman why I'm here. I don't come here for party time. I come here on official police business. This is a game we've been playing for years. This is a game we no longer want to play with you. You should be welcoming us. You called us.
We did call.
If you don't want me here, and if you want me to beg you to get through that door, don't call me.
Okay, well, I'm not really sure all that happened, but
It's all on recorded on body cam.
Well, but I just came over here because I heard some noise going on. I heard my secretary having to argue or whatever was going on. What I do know is, and I want to make sure this is on camera too.
Okay, so it's clear that the officer is upset because he couldn't bust through the door when he first got there. And, you know, he's being confrontational, as y'all can hear. When you called me and I'm tired of playing games. Sir, you just do your job and find out why you were called out there. You know, make the police report if one needs to be done. You know, just why are you making this more of an issue than what it is and want to be argumentative with the staff? And they called on a student who is a minor. And they made it clear it's non-emergency. Nobody's being harmed. Nobody's being hurt. No crime is being committed. So at this point, you know, but it's, as we can hear, and you all checked it out as well, there evidently has been some form of history because, you know, of them constantly being called out there as well. Because he made the statement, you know, you all do this all the time and we're getting tired and playing games. And then you're going to hear upcoming the principal give her opinion and her side of the story of the experience they're having out of the local county, their police department on hand. So, I mean, at this point, he's just being argumentative. And from the perception and the point of view, you have this attitude because of the neighborhood you're dealing with. Okay, this is a minority. These are Black people, Black kids, Black schools, Black county. And so you making it clear through your own actions and your own words, you're ready to bust up in the door, slam somebody to the ground, and make an arrest, a bogus arrest, all because of the community and the neighborhood that you're in. Let's continue to watch and check it out.
We felt a lot of disrespect by some of the members of the Columbus Police Department, including yourself, sir. What just transpired here, I do not know, but we definitely did call you today.
How did we disrespect you?
Oh, at one point in time, one of your colleagues, and just even your demeanor right now, your demeanor is off. So we did call you
Because I'm not
today.
into playing games.
I'm not into playing games either, sir. But we are going to follow the district protocols and so forth and so on. Today you were called because a scholar made this threat, which he said he was just playing. So Mr. Howe contacted you, and so now you are here. Miss Nash was doing her job. I don't know if she knew you were coming or not. I don't know what transpired.
Okay, if she knows we're coming here for a reason, I should not have to beg and plead.
No, don't argue. Don't argue.
So Mr. Howe asked me to, the CPD is here, let me know. And as soon as I saw them on the camera, I called for him and said, "Your guests have arrived." If there was a situation would have been warranted that it was immediate or whatever, I would have been told because I'm the first point of contact. But that wasn't the case. The case was, when they get here, let me know. And that's what I did. But then I get combative because, I need to go through, blah, blah, blah. That type of situation.
Well, then the other caveat too that we've been told from our district is that the police can't just go all over the building and do whatever you want to do. That has been established too. Now, if it was an active shooter, that's something totally different. But that's not what's going on right now. But there are rules and protocols.
So if a teacher's being assaulted.
Principal James states that she is following district protocols and requiring the officers to wait for an escort before entering the school. According to the Columbus City Schools Board of Education Policy 9150,
build a website you love with Wix, where your words
You want to skip that ad?
quote, the superintendent or principal has the authority to prohibit the entry of any person to a school of this district, or to expel any person when there is reason to believe the presence of such person would be detrimental to the good order of the school. Likewise, Policy 9150 of the Columbus City Schools Administrative Guideline Manual states that, quote, each principal shall establish rules and procedures for visitors, which shall include the following. Every visitor to a school must register at the school office. Any person who does not register with the school office is on school property illegally and should be asked to identify themselves properly or to leave the school grounds. The policy then requires that, now quoting again, after completing the building sign-in process, the visitor shall be escorted to the classroom unless the teacher is expecting the visitor and directions to the visitor will be sufficient. Likewise, the policy prohibits visitors from seeing a student in school without the specific approval of the principal and states that, quote, no staff member is to transact business with a visitor who does not have a visitor's pass or has not duly registered at the school office and received authorization to be present for the purpose of conducting business. Additionally, Board Policy 5540 specifically addresses law enforcement presence on school grounds, stating that, quote, when law enforcement or other authorities arrive at the school and wish to interview a student or investigate an alleged violation of law, they must contact the building administrator or his or her designee, indicating the nature of their investigation and their desire to question a student or students. Now, although these policies do not require visitors to be escorted in every situation, they grant a significant amount of authority to a school's principal to establish and enforce the rules and procedures for.
And that includes the police as a visitor. And as he already just stated, and they supposed to notify, especially the situation is what counts. And that detains, the direction the officer should go. Of course, if it's an emergency situation, then if the staff will let them know if they need immediate service and assistance. Hey, they would have been there with the doors wide open, waiting on them to pull up. But the scenario here, it is a non-emergency. So therefore, what the code is, as he just read, it is the officer's duty to contact the staff. And so, they can get on agreement of terms with his entrance. All right, let's continue to see what's next.
Visitor access to the school building and specifically mandate that visitors register at the office before transacting business with a staff member. Accordingly, because the officers were not at the school to address an active emergency, but rather merely responding to a non-emergency report of an alleged violation of the law, it is likely that a court would conclude that Principal James was within her authority to require the officers to follow established visitor procedures and wait in the office for an escort. Although it should be noted that it is unclear whether this so-called protocol was established by Principal James herself or by the district, as she claimed. Either way, Principal James has the authority to set the rules for visitor access to the school, and it is improbable that a court would find that she exceeded her authority or obstructed the officers by making them wait for the safety and security officer to come to them in the front office, rather than just grant them immediate unfettered access to the school building.
So if a teacher is being assaulted, so there was a breakdown on that too, which Mr. Howell and I discussed as well. But the assault had already taken place. But nonetheless, the teachers called. So they were the ones who made the phone call. And then they had already given information over the phone as to the scholar. Now, it gets back to me that allegedly I stopped information or whatever. That's not true, sir. You and I only talked once. When I came
You
out
said
of
I
my
will not
office
provide
door,
that student's
no, I did
information.
not. You asked me, was
Yes,
he
ma'am.
going to be suspended?
Mhm.
I said, I cannot share that information with you, and walked away. That was the only conversation you and I had on
In,
that day.
in the last 2 years, I know you have refused to provide
Because we
student
follow the
information.
district protocol.
But that's not your
Yeah,
protocol.
we have
Now, are
some-
you
there's
to
some
give me that
protocol.
student's information now?
It depends on what the situation is.
Are you to get, if
It
in an
depends
assault,
on what the situation is.
if those teachers
Not for
are,
me, the teachers are to give that. They were
No,
the ones who called.
you are the principal
No,
of
that's
this
not
building.
how it works. They were the ones who called. You had the conversation with them.
Principal James argues that if a staff member is assaulted by a student, district protocols require the teacher to provide the student's name to the officer, not the administrator. Columbus
My point exactly. District protocol. She is going by procedures and policies as the principal. Her job is what she's doing here, on the books and according to the law. The officer should fully be informed and aware of these things. So what is he talking about, folks? You all tell me. District protocol. These are school grounds here in your counties and your city, public city areas. So she's the principal she's doing her part. You all fill me in if I'm missing something here.
City Schools Board of Education Policy 5540, which we discussed earlier in this episode, states that, quote, written documents or video audio recordings containing personally identifiable student information in education records may be provided to law enforcement officers only with written permission of the parent in response to a lawfully issued subpoena or court order, or in response to a request from agency staff. However, the policy does allow for such information to be shared verbally on a discretionary basis, stating that, quote, information may be shared verbally with law enforcement officers who are conducting an investigation in fulfillment of their official duties. Additionally, while Board Policy 8330 restricts the release of so-called personally identifiable information, such as a student's name, the policy does specifically authorize the administration to, now quoting from the policy, report a crime committed by a child to appropriate authorities. Finally, Policy 3362A of the Administrative Guideline Manual requires that any staff member who believes they are the victim of threatening behavior to notify the compliance officer, and, if in the case of imminent physical violence, contact safety and security and/or the appropriate law enforcement agency. Accordingly, the publicly available district policies require staff members to report threatening behavior, but they do not address the protocol for an actual physical assault. Likewise, while the policies authorize administrators to share the names of students with police who are conducting investigations, they do not seem to require them to do so. However, I could not find any publicly available district protocols that would specifically require a teacher who was the victim of an assault to report the student's name rather than the administrator.
So they were the ones pressing the charges or the assault charges or whatever the case might be. That was not Natalie James or Ridgeview Middle School. They had that conversation with you. So that was over there. You and I only talked briefly when I stepped out of my office. So
you've constantly refused information. Are you denying that?
I followed district protocol.
Okay.
The only reason why I came out because there was something going on
Okay.
in the office and I stepped over here.
Okay, I will
Because
get with the attorneys.
there's some arguing going on over here with my secretary. We have safety and security for a reason.
Mhm.
I personally do not feel comfortable even speaking with you, to be quite honest,
don't.
because of the way because I believe that you do not even have my safety in mind. So I'm just being very clear.
Okay, and
So-
as an administrator, can I give you my feeling? You, for some reason, you don't like the police, and you want to make things so difficult for us that we don't want to come to your school. And listen, I listened to you, did I not?
You did.
You are, and I don't know what in your life happened that you hate us so much that you don't want to cooperate. But the teachers union, and I've talked with them.
I'm gonna pause you because it's not going to be back and forth. I don't have any hate towards the police or anything like that. There are some who come in over to Ridgeview who are just fine, but all of this and escalatedness and so forth and so on, I do not
He has straight turned this into hate. Hate, you all. I mean, you're on a power trip and you're saying she's not following protocol. She's exactly following protocol. There's guidelines, there's policies, the procedures. As her position as the principal, in her position on her job, she's following perfect district protocol. And she's said that to you. And it was verified as well. And you turn this and switch this and twist it into she hates the police. Are you serious? You're on a power trip. Does anybody follow me at this point? Can you follow where I'm going? Because this guy makes absolutely no sense.
I feel safe. I don't feel comfortable. But because I'm the building principal,
You're ridiculous. That's
and
ridiculous.
I heard what
You
was
don't
going
feel
on,
safe right
then
now.
I came on.
You don't feel safe right now.
I do not.
Okay, well
So,
then why don't
Mr.
you go back to your
Well,
office and
I
hide
am.
in safety?
So, Mr. Howe,
And I'll
did you
I'll
provide
do it
him
for
with the
I'm
information?
going to walk out and give it to you.
Okay.
Cause I can only give you,
Yeah, just give me the top half and that's fine. I need name, date of birth and his contact information.
that's what we give. And then like I said,
And that's what we had not been provided in the past. So that's actually a benefit for us today.
Because we
So-
were the ones who called the school. We called from our end.
Well, you haven't been willing to do that before. So now there has been some changes. There has been some changes. And you've been forced to give us some information that we've
We've
needed.
been following the rules.
You never have.
We
This is a
have.
first for you.
I followed the
I'm
rules, sir.
impressed.
May I have your badge, sir?
It's Officer Connor badge 1300. I do not have to provide you with a card. It's Officer Connor badge 1300.
Can you write that down?
And we can play this for whoever you want.
I'm sorry.
CONNER badge 1300, ma'am. And we can play this tape for the union and who else ever wants to see it at the school board. So I appreciate.
Now you insult her intelligence by saying you're impressed that she follows the rules and protocol and pretty much doing her job, and a great one at that. And of course, she does the right thing, exercise her rights, intelligent, lady here, and she's getting his information, his name, his badge number, so she can report him to his local officials. Now, will something be done about it? Is a different ball game. But you had the audacity to insult this lady in her profession, in her place of business, intelligence, all over a minor non-emergency phone call behind a student that was being childish. And he was punished and disciplined, and his parents was notified, and he was actually suspended from school that day. So where's all the extra energy coming from? Why are we going back and forth? I mean, there's more better, important things, I'm sure, that you need to be doing and you can be taken care of right now that are serious crimes out there, important issues to see about. So this is ridiculous. But y'all, let's just come along with me.
Appreciate your time. Yeah. Larry's got to tear it off. He can't give me the bottom information.
Are we doing anything with this?
No, the student's already been, sir, I already checked this, bottle, look bag, I checked the locker, I checked. It's just a room.
Figure out what's going on.
Give me 1 second, we'll get the time done.
Hollywood is a place where are sacrificed. So this is not.
You see what I mean?
Sorry about that.
Something in her life has happened, and I don't know what, but she is absolutely the most uncooperative person that I've ever dealt with in a school system that wants the police. But if there's a situation here, we don't need to.
Whoa. You're making this too personal, man. Now something in her life has happened to her because she's not cooperative to what you want to do and how you want to run your call in the line of duty. Like, get for real, dude. You're trying to make this a personal attack, a verbal attack at this point, and saying you're insinuating she's traumatized, she has issues, maybe some form of abuse and toxicity going on because she did not basically allow you to be controlled. She did not allow you to be controlled or controlled by you. And you're in your feelings about it. Does anybody see where this is going? We'll continue to watch here.
Beg that to get through that door. This is ridiculous.
After the interaction, the body camera footage gained attention in the local news media, with Principal James drawing criticism from citizens, the Fraternal Order of Police, and even Ohio Attorney General Dave Yost, who shared a link to the interaction on X and posting that, now quoting, "No principal in Ohio has the right to keep responding police out of a school building. The principal's conduct was unacceptable." However, in Attorney General Yost's post, he also stated that he spoke with the quote-unquote chief, presumably referring to Chief Elaine Bryant of the Columbus Division of Police, who told him that the officers had been able to complete their mission during their visit to Ridgeview Middle School, and that a meeting between the chief and the school superintendent had been set. The existence of this meeting was confirmed in a statement by Columbus City School spokesman Mike DeFabo, who also told the press that Columbus City Schools Employee Relations was reviewing the incident for the district, while the Department of the Inspector General was reviewing it on behalf of the Columbus Police. As of the date of writing this episode, the results of any meetings between the school district and the police have not been made publicly available, and Columbus City Schools has not issued a comment as to whether or not Principal James's conduct was in line with protocols. Overall, the Columbus officers get a C- for attempting to use their authority as police officers to undermine the authority of Principal James, demonstrating fundamental misunderstandings regarding the limitations of their authority, and for maintaining a hostile and condescending attitude throughout the encounter. Despite not responding to an active emergency, Officer Connor insisted that he was entitled to immediate entry into the building, arguing that the Columbus Division of Police outranked the school's internal security personnel. However, as we discussed earlier in this episode, school security officers operate under the authority of the school district, not the police department, and Ohio law grants school administrators broad discretion to control access to their campuses. According to both Ohio law and district court rulings, school officials maintain legal control over who may enter school grounds, even when those individuals are police officers. This authority is only limited by emergency exceptions, such as exigent circumstances, which clearly did not apply in this case, as the alleged bomb threat had already been investigated, deemed non-credible, and the student had left the premises. Rather than acknowledge this lack of exigency and follow the school's established visitor policies, Officer Connor chose to challenge the principal's authority and demand access that he was not entitled to. His demeanor during the interaction suggests that his frustration stemmed less from any immediate law enforcement necessity and more from a perceived slight to his authority. Although no rights were violated and the officers ultimately completed their task without making an arrest, Officer Connor's combative attitude, coupled with his mischaracterization of the situation as an ongoing emergency, introduced unnecessary tension into an otherwise resolved incident. While Officer Connor did not engage in any overtly unlawful behavior, his failure to adhere to established protocol, his insistence on unwarranted authority, and his inability to de-escalate a low-stakes situation all demonstrate poor judgment and a lack of professionalism. It is also worth noting, by the way, that Officer Connor mentioned calling the teachers union and other entities multiple times throughout this encounter in what appeared to be an effort to threaten Principal James's job. Not only is this completely uncalled for and unprofessional considering the circumstances, but it also suggests that this may have been a recurring issue that demands attention from city leaders. Principal James gets an A for remaining calm and collected throughout the interaction, strictly adhering to the policies of her school despite being pressured by members of law enforcement, and for adamantly preserving the safety and security of her students. Throughout her interaction with Officer Connor, Principal James remained composed, professional, and firmly within the bounds of both district policy and applicable law. Despite receiving pushback from the officers, she maintained a calm demeanor and clearly articulated that the school's procedures were being followed. Contrary to the online narrative that she obstructed an active bomb threat investigation, the record shows that the threat had already been investigated by school officials, deemed non-credible, and the student had been released to a parent prior to the officer's arrival. vehicle. At that point, there was no active emergency and no legitimate reason to bypass school protocol. When Officer Connor arrived, Principal James required that he wait in the front office for an escort from the school's safety and security officer, a decision that was fully in line with district policy. At no point did she prevent the officers from carrying out their duties. And as confirmed by both the police chief and Attorney General Yost himself, the officers were able to complete their mission of obtaining the student's name. The school's conduct did not obstruct the investigation. It simply required that the officers follow the same procedures expected of any visitor entering the school. It's also important to highlight the fact that Principal James acknowledged that if an emergency were taking place, then the officers would be granted immediate entry into the school, but no such exigency existed at the time. At one point in the encounter, Principal James expressed that she felt uncomfortable with the officer's demeanor, a statement that, based on the video footage, appears to be both reasonable and measured. Officer Connor's body language, tone, and insistence on immediate access reflected a confrontational posture that could easily be perceived as aggressive in a non-emergency setting. I commend Principal James for demonstrating a clear understanding of her legal authority, upholding her district's policies with a professional demeanor, and prioritizing the safety and order of her school without impeding legitimate law enforcement objectives. Let us know if there is an
All right, y'all, we're going to stop it there. And give me just 1 second. And we're going to continue the topic or the content here. And so my thing is entitled. That's the word I'm hearing, you all, entitled. The officer felt entitled that this principal was doing her job, all because of his badge, his position. You know, I'm quite sure they're very familiar and informed with the laws there pertaining to the school districts, the guidelines, the protocols, procedures, and so forth. And of course, as they stated, the principal handled it very well, took the information she needed from the officer and filed a complaint, and continued to do her job and also put it in the hands of her superior. So fill me in, y'all. Tell me your thoughts. Glad to have you here one more night. Shout out to Audit the Audit. Appreciate you. Keep doing your thing and going live. And until next time, we will live, love, laugh, and continue to conquer this police brutality. All right. And until next time, I'm still working on some things here. And like my logo say, who taught you to hate yourself and what God created you to be? All right, let's live, love. And until next time, salute.